Ben from Interrobot, and today I'm going to take you through connecting an LLM, Claude Desktop, to a web crawl generated by Katana web crawler. And we're going to do that with mcp-server-webcrawl, and that's going to act as a sort of middle layer that can fire off search and retrieval requests and hand them back to the LLM. So it's pretty powerful stuff. And let's just get into it. So in this case, we're going to set up the MCP server web crawl, and I'm going to briefly go over Katana crawler, and then we'll connect Claude. In order to install MCP server web crawl, we need the runtime, and the runtime is Python. You can get Python at python.org. Just head over there and click on the downloads. Once you get that, you're going to want to open up a shell, and you can just test that Python is on your path with a Python version. And it is on my path, which means pip, which is the package installer for Python, is also going to be on my path. If it's not on your path, you're just going to have to use absolute paths for this to work. So at this point, I'm going to install MCP server web crawl, and the command to do that is pip install MCP server web crawl. And I already have it, so it's going to say requirement satisfied, but for you, presumably it's going to install. And that's going to be exactly what you need. So we have our runtime, we have our MCP server. Let's look at Katana. So Katana is over here in Project Discovery Katana in GitHub. I'm going to use Ubuntu OS environment to run my crawls, just because I already have Golang set up there. You might need to install the Go language if you haven't already. I'm going to presume that most of you already have Katana installed because you found this video. But let's quickly go over it. So you install Go, download and install. If you want to check that Go is on path, you can say Go version. It should be. I think by default it is. And then to install Katana, you head over to this GitHub page, and it's right up at the top. Just grab this, paste it in. It's going to take a second to download and should be done pretty soon here. There it is. So at this point, I know I've done quite a few things in rapid succession. So let me just go over what we've done. We've gathered our server runtime, Python. We've installed our MCP server, MCP server web crawl. And we've got Katana ready to go. So now that we have everything installed, we're going to head back to MCP server web crawl and head down to MCP configuration and select Katana. At the top, there's going to be an example configuration. We're going to get there, but we're not there yet. Right now, we're just collecting crawls. And I'm going to grab this. I'll just explain these arguments. Store response means it's going to store the files that it collects, and store response dir is going to set where it's going to save those files. If I don't explicitly state store response dir, it's going to write to a default directory, which means if I crawl example.com and then crawl pragmar.com, it's just going to overwrite everything into the same default directory. Whereas if I specify the crawls directory, it's going to create a crawls directory and then store each crawl in a different host directory. That's exactly what I want, because I want to be able to work with multiple hosts. So all that said, let's grab this and paste it in here. And you can take a look at where I am saving these files. So right now I'm working in MCP demo Katana. So let's run this. And you should see a crawls directory pop up after it's done. It's going to take a second. There it goes. And I'm not even going to really look. I'm just going to grab another host here. I'm going to grab Pragmar. We'll take a look after it's done. Okay, and we're done. So we've got two crawls now, and we can verify that by heading into the crawls directory. An example will just have one file. It's the index, and Pragmar will have quite a few. And that's exactly what we expected. So this is all looking very, very good. And the next thing we're going to do is configure Claude so that we can access all this data. So we're coming into Claude cold. We don't have any MCP servers configured. And the way you can tell that is that you'll only have two buttons here. You have Search and Tools and this Uploads button. If we had MCP servers, we'd have a button with a hammer on it. And we're going to get there. Believe me, we're going to get there. So let's go to File, Settings, Developer, and Edit Config. This is going to be where we add our MCP server. So I'm going to open with code. So I'm going to head back to our MCP configuration with our Katana tab. And we're just going to look at this for a second. So we're going to use it. We're going to change the command. For Windows, all we need is mcp-server-webcrawl. For Mac OS, you're going to need the full path to mcp-server-webcrawl. And for the data source arg, I'm going to use this directory right here. So let me assemble that. Put that in there. Save it. Now we got to head back to Claude. We got to close it up. So in order to reload the conf, and this is really important, for Windows at least, you need to exit. There's two options, close and exit. If you just close, it's not going to reload the conf. So make sure you exit, come back, and looky here. Two MCP tools available. What could those be? Just a heads up, the Claude Desktop interface has changed since I recorded the demo, and MCP servers are now under Search and Tools. So like right here, and they can be toggled on and off. But the button that I'm referring to, the hammer button that I'm getting excited about perhaps, is no longer part of the interface. So as of May 25, this is how it works. Things are in flux, so it could change again. But just wanted to give you that heads up. The first thing I'm going to do is just ask Claude to list crawled sites. And we should get back Pragmar and example if everything's working. Now, listing sites is pretty useful, and it's certainly useful for the LLM in terms of what it has access to. But for our purposes, search is really going to be the workhorse of this server. And let's ask Claude to find all the help pages on the site and tell me how they're different. And this is going to pop up a permission. So the first permission I gave was to list sites. This permission is to search. We're just going to allow it. So you can see the gears turning. Found the support page, even though it's not help. The other ones were help. So just to give you another example, I could say take the AppStat help page and analyze headings for SEO. Claude's going to take that back. Claude already has the content, so technically, I don't think Claude needs to go back, but did anyway. So now you got your little SEO report. You can really do anything you want with this. It can be technical, it can be more markety, like the website is obviously useful to many, many people for many different reasons. So having this level of access, I think it's useful. So that's an overview of MCP server web crawl. Give it a shot and hopefully this is exactly what you're looking for. Anyways, thanks for watching, and yeah, later on.